Over the weekend, Nigeria's largest carrier, Air Peace Airlines, was accused of disrespecting the Emir of Kano, Aminu Ado Bayero, for not delaying their flight to accommodate the monarch after he arrived from Banjul. While Isa Bayero, a cousin of the Emir, claimed that the monarch was traveling with his entourage and they were delayed by Air Peace in Banjul, Gambia, for over an hour, and as such, could not catch their connecting flight to Kano. Isa further claimed that he made a request to Air Peace to delay the flight, but was turned down by the airline. He then directed a letter of complaint to the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, asking the regulatory body to take action against the airline for allegedly disrespecting the Emir and the people of Kano. Well, Air Peace, in responding to the letter written to NCAA, stressed that the airline never disrespected the Emir of Kano, but took actions to protect his image, insisting that if the airline had agreed to stop and delay an aircraft already set to take off for another 1 hour, only for doors to be opened and the Emir to walk in, there would have been a very serious uproar in the media nationwide against both the airline and the Emir. Well, in a statement by the chief operating officer of Air Peace, Isa allegedly threatened that he will incite the people of Kano against the airline if they did not stop the flight. Well, let's take some reactions emanating from this story. Well, this is for Issue, who wrote, Air Peace is a business that has a legal person. If the Emir feels his right was violated, let him approach a competent court of law. He is the Emir of Kano and not of Air Peace. Better still, buy your private jet. Another user wrote, flights get delayed for many reasons, safety, weather, etc. And it's not the airline's fault. You can't, because of that, now say another flight with its door shut and moving should be delayed because of one person. If you were in that plane, how would you feel about it? Well, another user wrote, what many of you don't know is Air Peace delayed the Emir's flight to Lagos from Gambia for a whole hour. Why wouldn't they wait for him an hour for the delay they caused him? Well, Air Peace, I guess, has released a statement saying that it was not a connecting flight and they were not responsible for the delay, with the connecting flight. That's the statement that it released recently. But, I read an article about this. An author who called this situation the issue of big manism in Nigeria. I don't know your take on this story.
I think the words of Fela Kuti puts it succinctly, that I open my eyes and I see in my country power show. That's what's happening here. It is a favor you were asking, which is not even a good favor in the first place. But the favor wasn't granted. Alternatives were provided. They said, you could go through Abuja. But you said, no, they must apologize because a plane that is ready to leave didn't stop for you to come in. What are we turning into this? What are they turning this
I just didn't understand what the story was about. They even asked for a 72-hour apology.
This country has become a joke.
Yeah, Dr. Abati.
And everybody's laughing at us.
Well, this is about power play in Nigeria. And I've seen this statement issued by Air Peace. And I think it's detailed enough. It's explanatory enough. If you look at it from a professional perspective, Air Peace has not done anything wrong. Air Peace is just saying that, if you miss your flight, you take the next available flight. Yes. Because that flight was already on the wrong way at the point that the person that called on behalf of the Emir got in touch. And Air Peace got in touch with the chairman, and the chairman said he would check with the airport. And they told him that, look, this flight is already leaving. So how do we stop people who are already taxiing to take off to say stop? And then at the end of the day, the Emir of Kano, the owner of Kano, walks in. Imagine that, both for the image of the second Kano and also for the image of the airline itself. So I think that, the NCAA should not even get involved. The NCAA should not bother to sanction anybody because, in aviation, safety is important. The safety of one man and his entourage cannot be more important than the safety of others. If you want to blame, Air Peace, maybe you say, Air Peace should realize that in this country, some people are more equal than others.
Can you imagine?
You should realize that, sometimes when we ordinary people go to the airport, some important person is still in his bedroom trying to get ready, and they will delay the flight for about 2 hours until he comes. Nobody is going anywhere, and that's what happens. And the people of the Kano Emirate, they must have said, who is Allen Onyama? From which state does he come from? Doesn't he know that this is the Emir of Kano? If it means keeping that flight waiting for the whole day, who are those characters, those ordinary Nigerians inside the aircraft who would dare complain that the Emir of Kano cannot have his way? Okay, isn't that how we roll in this country? So for doing the right thing now, he has been reported to the NCA.
What type of
whose director general is probably from the Emirates. Okay, so this is what we have in this country: abuse of power, abuse of privilege, and I hope that Allen Onyama and Airpeace will not make the mistake of sending a delegation to go and beg the Emir of Kano, because in this country now that the Kano Emirate is protesting, the next thing you will see is a team from Airpeace with some other people going there to say Rankadeli. No, rules are rules,
right?
And everybody must abide by those rules. We are past the age of the sovereign as a divine authority. Not even in England, where we inherited some of these things from, do they do that? Okay, the security of all the passengers are important, and no passenger should be considered more important. And I know other airlines who may be really livered will take a cue from this. Nobody should delay me traveling somewhere because somebody is flying, except it's the president of Nigeria.
Okay,
for security
only the
reasons.
president of Nigeria. Can you imagine?
No, when the president is moving, they close
I don't
the
think he'll
airspace.
be in your
That's understandable for national security purposes. But for somebody wearing Babariga to say Tundrum should be delayed.
It's not a Babariga wearing that. It's the monarch.
Well, I'm a respecter of royalty. You know that. I love the history and the pomp and pageantry. But that's exactly why I agree with Airpeace and the position that they took here.
Absolutely.
I do think that they were trying to protect the Emir of Kano because there would have been outrage, and rightly so.
Yes.
So I think that this indignation is misplaced.
Yes.
On the part of this spokesperson that's making much ado about nothing.
I mean, even he's saying he's going to incite the people of Kano against Airpeace. I don't even understand that. That is
why
so
incite the people after
don't...
trying to break a law?
Yes.
I mean, if he hurts him so much, I think a private jet costs about $40 million.
Buy your own airline. Right, buy your own private jet.
There are good ones out there.
Yes.
There's a Gulfstream. There are good Embraers out there.
Well,
a couple of other good private jets. Just buy one.
I want to believe that the Emir of Kano, who is an enlightened man, has been misrepresented.
Yes,
I
think so.
Because you can have overzealous.
Well, all right, guys. Thank you so much for your beautiful analysis. I'll see you all tomorrow. That's all I have for you on What's Trending today. See you tomorrow.